Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Endwalker. In the last episode, we continued with the Abyssos series of the Pandemonium raid, where we fought through the 5th and 6th circles. The first was a mythic creation, the Proto-Carbuncle, and the second was a Prometheus, one of the keywords, Higamone. Who, was transformed. We also met we met La Habrea in the flesh, and found out that the individual responsible for all the trouble here is Hephaestus, which is a reflection of La Habrea. La Habrea's shadow that contains all the emotions that he doesn't want to deal with or see in himself. So, we'll have to figure out what happened with all of that. But this resulted in a lot of kind of conflict with Eorzea, because Eorzea has daddy issues. Some justified. And the conflicts kind of caused him to walk straight into a trap that Hephaestus laid, and he got teleported off somewhere. And Hephaestus is trying to resurrect Athena. And yeah, we still don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet, but hopefully we will get them soon. So we have the next circle, the 7th circle, to go through. With another one of the keywords that's been transformed, that we need to get through to get to the lowest level, Tartaros, and hopefully find Hephaestus and Eorzea as well. So, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Since we're ready to go ahead and join the next battle, let's go ahead and just queue right on in. And as before, I'm going to go ahead and pause until things are ready, and then I'll be back. All right, there we are. Let's go. There we are. And that's disturbing. All right. Now with this boss, it's very important to keep your eyes on the boss. Alright, avoid that. Alright, spread. Alright, into the center. Alright, now we want to get close to the boss. Alright, get far away from that and stay in the circles. Alright, we're already down somebody. Alright. Up, get away, get away, get away! Alright, get ready to avoid the thrust. Alright, tank busters. Alright, for those, just want to get off the circles. Alright, right. Flipping behind that. Alright, more fruit. Now these are going to be line AoEs. You want to kind of set yourself up right about here. Ready to head into the center. Okay. Cascading AoEs, we want to slip in behind that. Get away, get away. Alright, those are going to be circle AoEs. Oop. Somebody got a little too close. All right, those are gonna be lines. Uh-oh. Oh. Couldn't get across it in time. Okay, so this is going to be... Wait for that, and then get in here. Hopefully we get somebody in each one of them. Get away from the boss, get away from the boss. Don't get punched. I think this is just several raid-wide AoEs. Alright, seeds. What type? Circle AoE, line AoE. Oh boy, knockback. Alright, and then get out of the way. Uh-oh. Oh, I done screwed up. Yep. Ate that. Come on, guys. And oh, okay. I should be able to avoid that. Alright, fight's over. Yeah, when I looked down that line and saw that cascading AoE coming in, I was like, oh no. Alright, well, I'm gonna deal with loot, and I'll be right back. Alright, loot's distributed. Let's go ahead and get out of here. The moment Agdistis was slain, the flow of ether and pandemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. It was almost as if we were ushered here. The space was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a key ward would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty. Ergo, it's not quite gone yet. If only I could restore Tartaros to order, but I'm afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It has been too long, Master Lahabrea. Likewise, keyword Agdistis. I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hephaestus' spells, even diminished as you were. It's not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus I am able to appear before you now. Even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands, some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance, and even managed to speak to the outside world. The report. That was you. Doubtless you recognized my voice from the many times I have called out to you. The hope that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There is something you must know. That the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I'm about to do, Master Lahabrea, but the story must be told. It is the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Erichthonios. No longer can you hide your heart away. A projection. Hephaestus? No, the mask marks him as Lahabrea. Master Lahabrea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaestus. These are my recollections of the moments following. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Erichthonios? My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. We should be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Erichthonios believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul were mere tools to be used and discarded. Even were to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve the star far from his parent's shadow. Erichthonios loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is Lahabrea's nature. Every action, every word, a solution to life's great dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I've revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to Lahabrea to paint the rest for you, and for Erichthonios, I hope. Thank you, Agdistis. I always admire you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Hephaestus has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear. Alright, Themis, your thoughts? It was Erichthonios' hatred of his father that caused him to fall victim to Hephaestus' magics. Yet the roots of that hatred were born from a son's love. A love nurtured not by a mother caring for her offspring, but by a researcher creating the ideal test subject. Pandemonium abounds with demons indeed. Not all of them are creations. Aethys was ever a bold woman, even her final moments, that she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that she faced you as her last opponent. I can think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. Alright. Keep grabbing those critical hit materials. Alright, so what's next? One final wish. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of a sense of love or pride. It was merely because she knew he would be the most pliable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Eorzea could handle the weight of such a betrayal after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems that even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research and succeeded in creating Hemethoi. I know not what his ultimate end is, but 'tis plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Eorzea to safety, in accordance with Aethys' last wish. Very well. I can at least assure you that finding him shall prove relatively simple now that Hephaestus can no longer bend the pandemonium to his will. There is but one place left for him to find refuge, the Black Heart of Tartaros, where Athena built her testing compound. You can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance, but I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. But we'll take care of that. Yep. Lahabrea, I would ask that you assume the duty of summoning Ayame's Phantom Warriors. I have no objections. My ability to fight within Tartaros would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There is no need to dirty your hands with such a deed. I take it then you have no intent to seal him away as before? The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked, and the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. While my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, and so he must be extinguished. Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. Alright, 8th circle, now accessible. Alright, so let's go ahead and cue in for the 8th circle. And then I'll be back once it's ready. Alright, it's ready. Here we go. Well, there's Eric. And Hephaestus.
Eorzea is mine, heart and soul. And with your death, none will be left to stop me.
Perfect imperfection. All right, let's see what you got. All right, who is tank? You.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison. From fulgent flame my servants rise.
All right, well, that one you want to get out of the center.
Out of my sight! Leave naught but ash in your wake.
And for that one you want to get away from the side.
Let sheep sorrow into your heart.
And again.
I tire of this farce. Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
All right, well, he's definitely been doing something.
You will know my rage.
It's a knockback sequence. All right. This one's fairly simple.
Perish in flame's embrace.
All right, in the middle, in the middle.
Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
All right, I want to get away from those ones that were marked. Now they're going to jump. Where are they going? Okay, other ones. And they're going to jump again, and they're going back to the original.
From fulgent flame my servants rise.
Stay out of the center.
A fitting death. I shall see my wish fulfilled.
All right, he's transforming again.
You are prey to be consumed.
Okay, look away from those. Okay.
Sear flesh from bone.
All right. Now look at what they trace out. Okay, get away from those enclosed areas. Again.
Leave naught but ash in your wake.
All right, get away from the sides.
Let sheep sorrow into your heart. Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Alright, going into that form again, which is going to be a knockback sequence.
You will know my rage.
Okay. Alright. We want to be over here. Push that way, and then there.
Who praying before a god?
Oh.
Perish in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
Alright, those two are going to burst. And then they're going to move. And then they're going to move again. Now we're getting stuff traced out. Okay.
From fulgent flame my servants rise.
Oh,
Out of my sight!
Oh, oh. I was oriented incorrectly.
I shall see my wish fulfilled.
Alright, he's going into the serpent form.
You are afraid to be consumed.
Alright, we need to look away. Good, good, good. Somebody just unleashed Limit Break.
Leave naught but ash in your wake. I tire of this farce.
All right, got him. All right, Pandemonium Abyss is complete. And there's La Habrea. Alright. Again, we'll deal with loot. I'll be right back. Alright. Loot's been distributed. Just double check that everything's still working right. Alright. Let's head out of here and see how this plays out. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error. When out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. This is not over. I see you will not go peacefully. Alright, we're ready for action. Even a cast-off would uphold his pride, though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of La Habrea once I fulfill Athena's ambition, to bring Erycthonios' dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Erycthonios... he knows not what his wish would beget, a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? My wish? You would claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father, yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side, and he desires to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared not for Erycthonios, beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service of that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You who are naught but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Mother, she... No, then who... How do I... Let's see. We'll say, come back to us. I hear you. I owe you, and Themis, an apology. Athena, did you ever? On La Habrea, I will have my say. He broke himself out. How? His mind was mine. I can't explain. Yalme's words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. Alright, he's gonna give it a shot. When did you master these bonds? Oh, we've endured much worse. You worthless... Hmm. A memory crystal. It appears my failures have borne fruit after all. You did well. Alright. Well, that's that. Mission success. Alright, Eric. Where are we? In La Habrea? With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, we may safely return Ericthonius above. Then he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understated his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. So, we contained him in that crystal, okay? I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing, it appears your body is none the worse for wear. Libus? I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? Maybe? I see. Despite his muddled senses, Ericthonius felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. It wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. La Habrea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed. He was naught but the parts of my memory and soul I had cut away, a mass of ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice. On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I'd hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here and what drove Athena to act as she did. I'm ready. Alright, time to come clean. Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of La Habrea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she that it was not unheard of for her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them, and Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations. Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass, she sought to enter the realm of the gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, the thought would be an idle fancy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena. As leader of the Words of La Habrea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail on the way. Our conversations became much more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. I take it I was born not soon after? Just so. I believe she bore true affection for me and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandemonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Agdistis to watch from Tartaros' vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. Is that me? You are well aware that out of respect for our neighbors in Elpis, the researchers of Pandemonium are not to be masked. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? But indeed, so quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception. You must have known you could not conceal this from myself and Agdistis forever. As well, you know that I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Ericthonios, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. I meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time has come, I will have you know the why of it. Then you will not desist? Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star. Of course, of that I am well aware, but did you not deign to descend from your lofty heights simply to lecture? Oh, but you did not deign to descend from your lofty heights simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations. What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great Lahabrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, Lahabrea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. Impossible. You bonded your souls? Ah, yes. Aye, that the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment, my mind was a storm of questions, yet one roared the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? I am become thee, memory and mind. And I thee. The same as when two Ascians merge to become an Ascian Prime. Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am. Yes, as if it were my own. A fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, or the star. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains, and when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the selfsame fervor. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption in my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. So she planted something in him. It was my weakness that let this wickedness fester, but never again. Today I shall cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was and live only as Lahabrea. Thus did I forsake the part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. You go to such lengths to escape your memories, you nearly rewrote your very existence. Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues. In the convocation, Eorzea and Emmett Selk in particular made plain the suspicions they harbored. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained? I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. The crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures and prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and a father should, yet in truth he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high, he thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again that she might finish what she began. And for all that, he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to all other perspectives. While I was enthralled at Hephaestus, you called out to me. What say you now? Does Lahabrea speak true? I don't think he has any reason to lie at this point. Yes, and now it's your turn to do the same. I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me, even knowing how I felt about my mother? Alhambria, I know, had a fatal flaw, after all. I'm still not convinced. I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me or not. Alhambria, I know, holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more, so before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say... Thank you, Hephaestus. Alright, well, they're starting to sort things out. Elidibus. Hephaestus was far more than an imitation of Alhambria. He was quite literally a part of him. Alhambria to me is a man who thinks of naught but his duty. By casting aside the burden that Hephaestus represented, he shall become ever more himself, in a way. Alright, Laha. I have said all that needs to be said. From this moment forward, I pledge that my heart shall not lead me astray. Oh, we'll see about that. Eric? I've heard enough. There's more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandemonium's gates. I gather my thoughts on the way. Alright. Let's head out of here. Things, Dad? Regain complete control of the facility, but it shall take some time yet until things are in working order again. Alright, Athena viewed Ericthonios as the ideal test subject. Hephaestus' research must have been very nearly complete to seek him out like he did. Alright. What now? I owe an apology, Yami. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hasn't chose to brave the chaos occurring in Pandemonium, then I would have never known Alhambria's story, my father's story. It was a tale I, too, was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Azim upon my return. But I help but wonder how much of this she foresaw. Again, I wonder if Azim actually has the ability for precognition in the same way that the character Mikoto does from the Rabanastre raids and the Bozja storyline, neither of which I've actually shown on screen here. I'm afraid I cannot allow that, Elidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandemonium, there is work to be done. Of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory. Using the facilities in Tartaros, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process. That is well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments and how he intended to revive Athena. Such questions are best left unanswered, and in fact I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. There is another? Yep, the crystal that led us here. While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, would be something altogether more complex. This also means that someone besides the present company and Azem was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandemonium. Why would they not make themselves known, even now? No threats remain. Perhaps it was one of the other warders. We shall question them after they are freed. We're still missing a few pieces of the puzzle. That task may take some time. A resource I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure, and we'll share your results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I'm in the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us and continue upon your journey, or if you are so inclined, take a much-needed repose. This talk of journey smacks of Azem. As well it should. She has pledged to keep moving until she has seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself with a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to La Habrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. Have we not actually brought it with us? I guess we haven't. Alright, anything else to add? The crystal that hangs from Eric Thornios' waist was a gift from me. Made in the hopes that it would spark growth in his aptitude for magic. It is plain he no longer requires it, but I see no reason he cannot wear it for a while longer. Oh, this crystal here? Interesting. I didn't even hardly notice it. Eric? As you may have noticed during our battle, La Habrea's mask crowns me when I've transformed. It is said that we manifest in a way that reflects our innermost selves. I thought that mask assembled the chains that bound my heart, but recent events have caused me to reconsider that assumption. Again, I'd have to check. I look forward to you returning with the crystal, but worry not, I shall try my level best to stave off loneliness while you're gone. Alright, well, we're back off to Aporia to report back in. Because all seems well, but we know we're only 2/3 of the way through. So something is still not complete. Alright. Rusino? If it isn't Ayame, excuse me if I'm not my usual shipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for a search was lost some time ago, and now we have lost track of where he might be. That doesn't sound good. Make matters worse, Nemgigi has just sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the Ethereal Sea. I was just on my way to the Ateoscope. In fact, please, you must come with me. Something going on in the Ethereal Sea? Well, that's interesting. What's Pandemonium doing here? Wait, what is that? Is it real? Why is it whenever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Who is it? Oh, Fortuno. And you two, Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it? As you're right before me, I take it you are involved in this? I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. Yeah, we should probably give him the report. Because things are going sideways pretty quickly. While the research summary you submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. The Professor's last messages indicated that he was on his way to Azys Law, but we know not whither whether he ever reached his destination. A rash endeavor, even for Claudian, but he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. You have no recourse but to entreat Ishgar's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which materialized in the Ethereal Sea, Pandemonium was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimize panic. We will gather those with knowledge of the Ethereal Sea and continue monitoring it for further irregularities. You two, submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time as that our investigation has concluded. Very good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. So, I guess all did not proceed well after we left Pandemonium. And something strange is happening. Just when we need him the most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. Ah, so he has the crystal. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomenon may be responsible for both. Conversely, I see now that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandemonium's pitiless spires justice. I can only wonder if the facility itself traversed the ages. Did the creations within do the same? What are the keywords? But answers to these questions shall come in time, I am sure. For now, I must do as Master Fortuno asked and write that report. As for you, Ayame, pray get what rest your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition. Now the question is, did Pandemonium transport itself through time, forward through time? Oh, we need to pick something here. I will take spell speed. Okay. Or was Pandemonium set adrift within the Ethereal Sea back in the distant past, and only now has it kind of washed back up? I guess we'll find out eventually. Other speculation that I have. Claudian was going to Azys La. Azys La has significance in regard to La Habrea because that is where we fought and defeated him in the Etherochemical Research Facility. But I think it might be possible that La Habrea is not dead. Because if we remember, when we used the Eye of Nidhogg to destroy one of the Ascians, it was Igayorm, not La Habrea, that we had. La Habrea's soul was absorbed into Ascalon, the sword that was used by the primal version of Thordan after the Archbishop summoned it. Now, the sword was not part of the primal. The sword was created by the primal, forged out of the body and armor and Nidhogg's eye that was embedded in said armor of the first Azure Dragoon. Right? Whose name I can't remember. But that was a physical object that was separate from the manifested ethereal primal. So when the primal was destroyed and the Archbishop died, it didn't disappear. Even when Estinian pulled Nidhogg's eye from it, it didn't disappear. It was still on the ground in the cutscene when Estinian turned into Nidhogg and flew away. It was still there. So it's possible that La Habrea's soul, which was absorbed into the sword, is still there as well. And if Claudian went to Azys La with that crystal, we may be seeing La Habrea coming back in possession of Claudian. I give that like an 80% chance of happening. But the writers may decide to throw another curveball our way. Because we kind of need to know what happened to take the La Habrea that we saw there in Pandemonium to turn him into the cackling, cartoonish, mustache-twirling villain that we saw in A Realm Reborn and Heavensward. So, yeah. Interesting. I don't even know what's going on with Pandemonium right now. Well, we'll find out in a couple of patches. In 6.4. So, we'll be setting this aside until then. So, for now, we'll stop here. So, if you guys enjoyed it, thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.